What would you do if one day you woke with the power to kill anybody you wanted with nobody knowing? Me personally, I'd get rid of all the other dudes so I had all the honeys to myself. Wait, then I wouldn't have any subscribers anymore. Damn it. Alright, I guess I just take out my stepdad Steve. God, I hate Steve. But anyways, Light doesn't have to do any of that because you see Light gets bitches, and he gets them obsessed. For those of you late adopters who are just now watching Death Note, spoiler alert, I guess? God forbid you only had 16 years to watch it.
The setup.
The anime Death Note follows the story of a young man, Light Yagami, a normal, unremarkable college student, that is, until he encounters a strange notebook on the ground. He quickly finds that the notebook possesses magical properties. If someone's name is written on it while the writer imagines that person's face, that person will die. Intoxicated by his new godlike power, Light murders those he believes are undeserving of life. However, a mysterious investigator known only as L becomes determined to end his tyranny. So let's get into it. The first girl that Light entices is a girl named Naomi, not in a romantic way, but in a manipulative way. Stay toxic. He uses a psychological tool to win over her trust and respect, which is available in any relationship dynamic, romantic or not. She is the fiancée of the investigator that is head of the case to find out who has the Death Note, so it's in Light's best interest to get close to him. Let's watch what happens when they first meet at the FBI off-placed building.
Hey, I haven't seen you in a while, Light.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What, you don't remember? You helped solve the insurance fraud murder investigation sometime last year.
Did you catch that? He lets others build social proof for him. When the agent at the desk greets him, he acts like he doesn't remember, so the man voluntarily explains how Light helped crack a previous case. This establishes credibility in the eyes of Naomi because not only is it a very impressive accomplishment for a teenager, but he didn't even have to brag about it himself. And for her to observe that the officer was comfortable with him, she automatically will assume a higher level of comfort with him as well. A real-world example of this could be something like if you're talking in a group and a girl starts talking about how she spent a semester in Italy, and perhaps you did as well, instead of butting in and saying, "Yeah, Italy is great, I lived in Italy too, I was there for 6 months, blah blah blah," shut up. You instead should wait for one of your friends to mention your stay in Italy instead. That way you're not being an attention-seeking idiot, but the bridge of commonality is still built. Just get some dope friends that'll hype you up pretty much. The second girl Light gets to simp for him is Kiyoma Takada, his high school classmate, and the character trait that lets him do this is by having real passion. Light is your typical high school boy with light brown hair and brown eyes, but he's dedicated, talented, and a natural genius. Light is a competent planner and adept at sketching out scenarios. Within school, Light Yagami displays his passion for schooling in an exemplary way. Gifted and hardworking, he is very intuitive and effective at problem solving. Projected to be one of Japan's brightest and upcoming honor students by always maintaining a consistent and impressive A+ standard in every single test. Basically, he's a little nerdy golden child. So that's number one, being a little nerdy. No, wait. Having a real passion outside of your relationships. Being a man with purpose, to strive for excellence, combined with his charming wit and good looks, it only compounds how people view Light as a person of agency. He's so busy with school and sports that he hardly has any time to give attention to Kiyomi, and that makes him seem unattainable. And we as humans are hardwired to want what we think we can't have, and that makes Kiyoma obsess over him. She wants to feel like she won the prize, the man that no one can have. His flawless array of school reports and calm and composed demeanor even gives Light a mysteriousness. And girls love that shit. They gravitate towards his intellect and character. This is because Light does things meticulously with purpose, not just living a lazy lifestyle where he sits on his chair all day gaming or jerking his little ding dong. But if you think Kiyoma was a simp, just wait till you meet this little weirdo, Misa Amane, aka Misa. If Kiyoma is the simp sergeant, then Misa is like the simp sultan. Yeah, that's a good one. The simp sultan. Misa is a young, attractive girl who would do absolutely anything for Light, and she wants to be with him more than she even wants to breathe. And oh yeah, did I mention she's a famous model? So that makes it even more impressive for Light. I see you, playboy. So why is she simping so hard? Well, I pinned it down to a couple things. First off, Light's ability to take a hold of any situation. Since the dawn of time, the most attractive trait for the man is to lead and protect, to hold your frame and not bend to other people's will. Light displays an overwhelming and even scary ability to hold his frame. He has a persistent and almost instinctive ability to always come out on top. He does it time after time and time again.
Exhibit A.
Light got himself recruited within the secret task force that was actually trying to find him. Yeah, he Trojan horsed that shit. And then seeing the many loose ends that potentially tied himself to the identity of Kira, Light immediately takes action to prevent any circumstances where he would be found out. And I think he actually got them all killed, like 12 guys or something. Light is always one step ahead of everyone, and Misa sees that as a sign of dependability and protection, basically as an alpha male. Light is also a risk taker, and that's the second thing. Not in the kind of betting your life savings on a roulette spin risk taker, but a calculative and smart risk taker. There came a time when Light was about to be caught for being Kira, the killer. Light had to take a massive risk where he ended up forfeiting the notebook, as a result giving up all his past memories with the notebook. Not only was this incredibly risky, but Misa had to follow his long string of plans to perfection. There are so many other variables that Light had to solely take into account, even trusting his unconscious self to act in the way he wants after forfeiting the book. Despite this, Light is also willing to take Misa step by step through the whole plan. This shows that Light is not just stupidly relinquishing the notebook without thought to get out of solitary confinement, but at times he displays the need to take risks in order to succeed. This is a situation that the average person could potentially not pull off. Many wouldn't even come up with a successful plan within this situation purely due to the sheer number of situations tied together with impulsivity. To be the man that people want to follow, you need to be able to make those tough decisions and follow them through to the end. You know, pizza or burgers, beach or mountains, boobs or butt. The last element that Light uses to create an obsessive attraction is what pickup artists call the push-pull method. The push-pull method is basically as it seems, giving a person the attention they desire and then pulling back, creating a space where your attention was, leaving them craving more and more each time. When Light first meets Misa, he is initially taken back because she alone knows he's the owner of the notebook and the Kira. And then he is dumbfounded when Misa demands that he be her boyfriend. Seeing his life potentially at risk due to her knowledge of his name, he quickly changes into a more friendly and compassionate tone. He embraces her with a big hug, telling her about how much he appreciates her loyalty and love to him. And then quickly he switches and yells at her, pushing her away, conditioning her to try harder and harder to bid for his affection. Yeah, I know, it's toxic as shit, but that's just the way it goes. Now, I definitely don't recommend you going this far with the push-pull method, but it can be quite effective to do this on a lesser scale. Scale, that's a word. Such as lessening the contact sometimes between text, snap, or calls. You can think of it like hanging a toy in front of a cat. If you just lay it there, they won't even chase it. But if you dangle it and let them grab onto it for just a moment first before pulling it away, they'll go crazy and want the toy even more. Stay toxic. So that's how Light is able to make women absolutely obsess over him. Now, all of this is dandy and good, but pretty much useless if you lose your shit in stressful situations. So click this video to find out how to stay fearless under pressure. And until next time, peace. Subscribe.